Cocolia Rand, 18th Supreme Guardian of Belobog. It's time to see just how supreme you really are, but with a good old-fashioned one-on-one duel. Though you'll of course summon helpers in the form of those icicles, you rotten cheat. It's been a moment since we've last seen Blazer-dono, huh? Remember when I said this in the last episode? Regarding having run that stupid Cavern of Corrosion 100 times and coming up empty? No, just no. This doesn't deserve a montage. It nearly made me want to quit Star Rail. Turns out, it really did make me quit. I indeed left that immense grind without the attack percent boots I wanted. But I must say, these HP percent boots that rolled into attack percent twice are quite the lucky break. They should be more than up for the task of letting Blazer-dono trample Cocolia. With a little extra help, that is. Allow me to introduce you to the other grind I did. This one ran simultaneously with Cavern of Corrosion, and included clearing nearly every enemy in all available maps on Yarilo 6 daily. For you see, I'll need food buffs to defeat Cocolia. In particular, these. They're pretty costly to make. Antimatter field generator for firepower and crit rate, stone from the Everwinter Monument to reduce freeze chance. This one is key, for after a dozen or so test fights, I concluded that victory hinges on never being frozen, which makes sense since being frozen means losing attack chances. This took a lot of farming, and being down a whole map of enemies didn't help. Not so fun fact, so long as this version of Cocolia remains undefeated, no enemies will respawn in the corridor of Fading Echoes. What did help, however, is my new favorite enemy in Star Rail, Sequence Trotters. These guys may as well be piñatas. Hit them hard and all sorts of goodies come out. They effectively doubled my rare material gains every day. Alright, we're set.
Intruders! You go no further.
Are you sure this isn't the real her?
They look like it, but the fragmentum can only create forgeries. Bring her down!
Just a scratch. Stay alert. Batter up!
You are doomed to fail! A world devoured by ice! Sinners, ready yourself for the judgment of eternal winter!
Just a scratch.
Tremble before my power!
How's this?
Freeze to death!
So this is defeat.
Freeze to death!
Bring her down!
How's this?
Freeze to death!
Just a scratch.
Witness the avalanche!
Rules are made to be broken!
The world that they promised.
That went much smoother than anticipated. I mean, I didn't expect it to be anywhere near as insane as Svarog, but Cocolia took like 8-10 attempts, maybe? We've finally made it. The end of Belobog. Just one hurdle remains. Overcoming the sore loser that is Cocolia.
Behold, the power granted by them!
Only 77%. Somewhat impressive, I guess? I honestly thought I'd be able to drop her to 50%. Finally, It's time to unlock a new path for Blazer-dono. Destruction has served him well, but I am eager to see what new possibilities preservation will bring. But first, we need to get some grub. You can actually smuggle food buffs into this fight by exiting at this point and then using them and re-entering.
No. It can't be.
Really? You know what? Screw it. We're doing it anyways.
Brave new world.
Stay alert. Hit. I'm on guard.
I've run this fight many times. I've studied the attack patterns. I've meticulously analyzed the action order. I know when to defend, and both when and how to attack. What you are seeing now is the culmination of all those fights, in order to glimpse victory in what many would immediately write off as simply impossible.
The Stellaron changes everything, ready to be crushed. You will not take away our hope.
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
Time for the old world to collapse.
Don't lose momentum. Hit.
A brave new world, ready to be crushed. You will not take away our hope.
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward! Forward!
A brave new world.
Hit.
You fools.
Lance at the ready. Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
The only redemption. The power of the Stellaron is with me! You are but cinders of the old world, soon to become ashes! Power translates into hope!
You're darn right it does.
We made a choice, go fight against your fate!
Go with the past. Power translates into hope!
I'm on guard. Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
The only redemption. Power translates into hope! Go with the past. Power translates into hope!
Hit.
The only redemption. Power translates into hope!
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
Oh, crud. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I did not expect to make it that far. I went into this thinking it was impossible, and sure, it is. But in the event the devs send out new powerful foods or recipes via some collab, foods that boost max HP by a significant amount, defeating Cocolia with Trial Trailblazer may actually become possible. All that aside, this fight is totally unfair. Being locked out of using my light cones and relics is not cool. I have access to a 5-star preservation light cone, one that I could even max superimpose, and I think that would potentially tip the scales towards victory. But because of trial character restrictions, I can't even try, and that really bugs me. Thus, I've made a decision. I'm going to level up Dan Heng and the others to get past this fight. I will then challenge the Echo of War version of Cocolia with just Blazer-dono. You know what? I can probably make do with just tossing some relics and these level 40 max superimposed light cones on them. Never mind. What a dumb restriction. To be clear, this is also a trade. While I will gain access to changing my light cone and relics, I will lose the 4 Eidolons that the trial version has. I will also lose the freeze immunity that he has. I'm going to allow myself to farm and use Guard of Wuthering Snow relics, as it is the set the trial version uses. We can tell this by the fact that the Trial Trailblazer begins to heal each turn once below half health. My issue isn't the set. It's that I can't pick the stats of the set, which all should be HP percent. The trial version has less than half the health of Blazer-dono, meaning those relics are not optimized at all. My strategy is to tank via the 4-piece set effect by boosting that 8% health regen to the highest number it can be, combined with the effect of a max superimposed Texture of Memories light cone earned from farming World 1 of Simulated Universe for months. I think we have a winning combination, which means we're back to Cavern of Corrosion. This episode has it all, huh? Good thing I've got 2400 reserve Trailblazer power after that long break.
Let's go.
Sagacious discernment.
That's troubling. I'm not putting up with this again. Having run the numbers, I can defeat it with my current setup, but it's an extremely slim chance and requires 3-star food buffs. Rather than make myself want to quit Star Rail again, just gonna unlock planner ornaments. The default ones I got here should be more than enough to turn this from an unbearable multi-week grind to just an hour or two. Ah yes, of course. I just need a specific pair of boots. So as I was saying, not putting up with this again, a 3-star pair of HP percent boots should be fine, I think. Figured I might as well test the Cocolia battle before grinding for a 4-star pair, given it's only an 11% difference. Okay, everything is in order. We've got a max superimposed Texture of Memories. We've got 4-piece Guard of Wuthering Snow. I've taken off the planner ornaments, since I'm fairly certain the trial version didn't have them. I'll forsake food buffs for now, too. This is just a test, after all.
Lance ablaze. Flaming lance. Forward! Defend we're weak. Fracture! Forward! Indestructible. Fracture. Lance ablaze. Flaming lance. Forward.
Deceived me.
Okay, I was confident in my setup. In fact, I was very confident, but I was not expecting to get it first try so easily, without the use of food buffs. That's 2 wins for Blazer-dono, 1 for Cocolia. I'm satisfied with that, given the loss was forced trial nonsense. Oh man, what a journey Belobog has been. It continues to amaze me what all I'm able to achieve in Star Rail using just 1 character. Every time I think an insurmountable wall has appeared, somehow a path over it, around it, or even straight through it is blazed. I imagine eventually one will appear and Blazer-dono's journey will end. But so long as it's not caused by trial character nonsense, I'm looking at you, Jingyuan. I plan to keep trailblazing. Thus, it's time to depart Belobog. There are still quests to do here, a few of which give recipes for food buffs surpassing what I currently have. I'll tackle those when they're needed, but for now, Kafka, Deer, Pontilia, Blazer-dono is approaching. Prepare yourselves. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Blazer-dono. If you're curious to see how the Lofu turns out, do make sure to subscribe to the channel and follow me over on Twitter at Moosashi, where I sometimes share sneak peeks of progress or strange finds. This is Moosashi and Blazer-dono signing off. Till next time.